What two things will never change? The hypocrisy of the left and the fake news. They aren't showing any signs of slowing down either. What happened to the Democratic Party? I remember growing up and my parents were Democrats because back then they were the party for the average American. Boy, has that changed. The only thing the Democratic Party cares about are three things. Themselves, impressing the elite and not losing to Donald Trump. And folks, they will do anything to get what they want. So don't kid yourself and think the Democrats are good people, because they for sure are not. Well, obviously they aren't all like Biden, Pelosi, Schumer, Kamala, to name a few. The good ones have seen the light and said, I am out of this corrupt regimen party, and move over to the Trump Maga movement. Today we are going to look into the Bidens and their corruption, the countless and ridiculous lies of Joe, and Hunter's laptop from hell. So let's get right into it. But first, make sure to hit the subscribe button for more great political stories. Our next story, we will cover the best traitor of all time, Nancy Pelosi. After being a politician for over 47 years, one would think he would have an encyclopedia full of accomplishments and achievements. However, that doesn't seem to be the case with Joe Biden. Joe has a very short list of accomplishments and a bookshelf full of lies. Unfortunately, we won't have time to cover all of them, but we will cover some of the worst and shameless lies of Joe Biden, and then a few, because I am a pathological liar, lies. Joe Biden, Karine Jean-Pierre, and the fake media have told us this for the last 4 years.
Presidential promise to put the law before a family.
I said I abide by the jury decision. I will do that, and I will not pardon him.
You're a very bad man.
Letting the world know that he will not wipe away the decision of 12 of his son's peers.
Was asked directly, and he has said he wouldn't pardon his son if he gets convicted.
Let's wait and see what happens if he loses.
Yeah, but he said it.
He's going to get pardoned by his dad. There's no question about that.
The president has ruled out pardoning his son.
Major commitment from the president, accepting the outcome of the trial and also pledging not to pardon his son.
Oh, what a hypocrite.
Our current president of the United States has so much respect for the law that he has said he would not pardon his son. I mean, again, it's all about the contrast.
Well, I call y'all all hypocrites.
He's not doing it because he is living what it means to have a rule of law in this country. Yeah. And then if you want to know if he believes it, you could actually see what is happening with his own son.
You fucking hypocrite.
Is there any possibility that the president would end up pardoning his son?
No.
Well, is there?
I just said no. I just answered. Go ahead.
We've been asked that question multiple times. Our answer stands, which is no. It's still a no. It's still a no.
It will always be a no.
It's still a no. It will be a no. It is a no, and I don't have anything else to add. Will he pardon his son? No.
A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
That was the most recent and corrupt lie which Joe Biden told. Joe has always known he was going to pardon Hunter when the time came, but he had to lie about it. That's because that's what Joe does. He lies, folks. However, the pardon, or should I say sweeping pardon of Hunter, is one of the most comprehensive in history, as it encompasses over a decade of corruption. Why 11 years? Why not just 10 years? Because if it was 10 years, IT wouldn't cover Hunter's time of when he first joined the board of Burisma, a corrupt oil and gas company from Ukraine, where Hunter was paid $85,000 a month to sit on the board. Hunter had no prior oil and gas experience, but was paid over $1 million a year to sit on the board. Joe is just shielding himself and family from accountability with the pardon of Hunter. When the House Oversight and Accountability Committee launched an investigation into the Bidens' family involvement in their business dealings, they exposed 20 shell companies set up to hide the shady foreign payments they received, all while Joe Biden was at the center of all of them. Too bad Joe and the fake news don't practice what they preach.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
Nobody is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
Nobody is above the law.
No one 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 is above the law.
Except for Joe Biden, of course. But the lies don't stop there. Oh no, folks. They get even better, and sometimes bizarre, as you will see as we expose more of Joe Biden's lies. Honestly, the last time Joe Biden told the truth, Moby Dick was a minnow. When Joe first started campaigning 47 years ago, pretty much everything that came out of his mouth was a lie. The guy will say whatever he needs to make himself look good. Joe is also...
I have a much higher IQ than you do, I suspect. I went to law school on a full academic scholarship, the only one in my class to have a full academic scholarship. In the first year in law school, I decided I didn't want to be in law school and ended up in the bottom 2/3 of my class, and then decided I wanted to stay, went back to law school, and in fact ended up in the top half of my class. I won the international moot court competition. I was the outstanding student in the political science department at the end of my year. I graduated with 3 degrees from undergraduate school and 165 credits, only need 123 credits, and I'd be delighted to sit down and compare my IQ to yours if you'd like, Frank. If I could say one thing.
Do you like being a liar with pants constantly on fire?
He stated such lies as he marched in the civil rights movement. Of course, he never marched in any civil rights movement. However, Joe did belong to a country club where black people weren't allowed. Not too civil to me. Joe also has repeatedly claimed his Uncle Boise was eaten by cannibals in World War II, but the defense depped. Claims he was shot down over the ocean and his body was never found. Why would he lie about something like that? Joe has also stated he was arrested when trying to visit Nelson Mandela, then later said he wasn't arrested but stopped by the police. I don't believe either story. Then there is the story where a veteran died in his arms while trying to pin the silver star on him. Another bold lie. I have to laugh every time Joe says, and I quote, "And this is God's truth, my word as a Biden." Wow, Joe, you sure are a piece of work. This is one of the worst lies told by Joe. Check it out.
President Joe Biden finally got around to calling the parents of one of those soldiers, and, well, he did what he always does in times like this. He made it all about himself.
President Biden calling Oneida and Sean Sanders, whose 24-year-old daughter Kennedy was killed in the attack.
I know, everybody, I know there's nothing anybody can say or do to ease the pain. I've been there.
Yes, sir, we understand.
The parents overcome with emotion when the president reveals how their daughter will be honored.
We're promoting her posthumously to sergeant.
Oh, wow. That is the best news I've heard today. Thank you so much.
I don't want to nitpick, but it's pronounced posthumously. And when somebody says a word like posthumously, like that, he said posthumously, it suggests that he's reading. He's reading a card, I think. No way to know for sure. Maybe he's always pronounced posthumously as posthumously. I'm pretty sure he's reading that. He's reading what he was told to say. Number one. Number two, can you imagine if Donald Trump, at a time like this, calling grieving parents of a member of the military that died because of his policies, if he said posthumously instead of posthumously, I'm pretty sure we'd have wall-to-wall coverage of what a jerk he is. So allow me for just 1 minute to tell you what a jerk Joe Biden is. But honestly, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Watch what he does next.
You don't know how much that means to us.
Oh, well, I tell you what, it means a lot to me. My son spent a year in Iraq until I lost him. And 1% of all these kids are the ones that take care of 99% of us.
By the way, I'm quite sure that he was reading a card in front of him and reading it poorly. 1% of these kids, that makes no sense. No, the members of the military represent 1% of the American population, and they take care of the 99% of us. That's the data point. That's the relevant thing to say. Now, 1% of these kids, he doesn't know what he's talking about. But let's focus on the real problem here. You saw it. I saw it. We all saw it. We see it all the time. I lost my son Bo in Iraq. My son Bo was in Iraq. That's how I lost him. That's not how the president's son died. He acts like his son died in combat. He acts like his son died the same way these incredible parents' child just died. Serving in combat and dying at the hands of the enemy. That's not what happened to Bo Biden. Bo Biden died in a hospital bed in Maryland. He had brain cancer.
Check it out. Can you believe it, folks? He sat there and blatantly, without remorse, told the parents that his son died in Iraq and was returned to him in a body bag. Joe, it was bad enough that you had no integrity and showed no remorse as the bodies of the 13 soldiers were returning home. Remember when he kept checking his watch as if he had someplace better to be? What a disgrace this guy is. It was 100% your fault, with your shitty withdrawal from Afghanistan.
Thanks for watching, everyone. And please don't forget to smash that damn like button. And if you subscribe, you will have 7 years of good luck. Next story will be part 2, covering the Hunter Biden laptop from hell and the dark side of Hunter Biden, exposing his corruption. Stay tuned, and God bless you all.